Okay, the next one is about republishing press releases. You should absolutely republish press releases if you have blog networks, syndication networks, anything like that. Use the per organization RSS feed to do that. Each organization that you set up gets its own dedicated RSS feed. You can, use a feed munger if you want to kind of, bust it up or insert other things to it, whatever. There's lots of tools out there to do that. If you really want to talk about that, drop me an email. We can talk about, some strategies for that in particular. But a lot of you have syndication networks, branded syndication networks for that client. You might have kind of your own internal, PBN style thing, whatever. Don't hesitate to, use the per org RSS feed to republish the release. As soon as the release goes live, it hits that feed so it can hit all of your syndication networks as well. And then I also recommend that you publish them to social networks. You might use Buffer or whatever tool that you use to automate that. You can do it manually too, but we definitely recommend that you're posting press releases to other third-party social platforms, especially Twitter. One of the things that I wanted to point out, or I ended up pointing out to some folks last week that I was doing some call them consulting calls with, is that they're underutilizing their Twitter account. Twitter shows up in Google search. A lot of the other social platforms don't, but Twitter does, and so let's use that to our advantage. If you want to republish press releases onto the client website, you can. I do recommend republishing them and not necessarily embedding the release page, although you're welcome to do that if you'd like. I do think you just get better value out of republishing the actual content. If you're going to do this, I would recommend that you wait, a day or two after the release goes out and before you put it up there, just to avoid any, kind of attribution concerns or something like that, where Google might, decide that this was sourced from your your website, as opposed to you're just resyndicating the other content. And then if you're doing, republishing, you may want to spend some time trying to, get them indexed. If you already have indexing strategies for these syndication networks, then it's probably taken care of. But these types of republished content, it will often require a little bit more help on the indexing front.